You're listening to Who's Tom and Dick, a weekly podcast with your hosts, Martin Weavers, fighting stage 4 lung cancer, and Patrick Mortimer, living with heart disease. Why not grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit back, and enjoy the chatter as we discuss and share information, talking about tough subjects, and offering help, support, and motivation with a positive mental attitude.
Hi Martin, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much.
Well, we're in a different venue today, aren't we? Backstage at the
Westcliff Theatre?
The Westcliff Theatre in Clacton.
Have you brought your bucket and spade?
No, I haven't. No.
We can go on the beach later.
I know.
So we've got someone special today.
We've got a special guest today.
Oh yeah.
A very special guest. One of Britain's, if not top comedians, I would say, singer, actor, entertainer, and game show host, Mr Jimmy Tarbuck OBE. Good afternoon, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm very flattered. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
And a very good after you. Thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to you and your partner, and of course your two daughters.
No, that's not the first time somebody's called my wife my daughter.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know whether she looks
they do
so
look a
young
bit younger than
or I
us.
look too old, but
That's right.
there you go.
I think you can kick off the proceedings.
Where do we start? You know, host of the Sunday night Palladium, Sunday night at the London Palladium. That must be the gig of the century. That must be.
Well, it's one of the great moments of my life because it's the most famous theatre in the world, bar none. And before you go on the stage, there's a wall behind you, or there's a mirror bigger than that, and it's called the checkout. And everybody who works, Bassie, Sinatra, Beatles, Jones, Silla, always just looks in the mirror. You know, yes, not being rude. Men adjust the trousers so that nothing's, you know, the ladies, what they've got on, and then they go, yeah, and let's go on. And it makes a lot of the performers who've never been there before nervous. Mm. Now, I was on a club in Manchester the night before. I drove through the night with Pauline, my wife, and a pal, Ray Fellman. We slept in the car, and Val Parnell took a chance and putting me on. And it was 61 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
And I went on and, the good Lord was with me because I had a very, very good night. And I'm often asked about that night and nights since. And people say, do you take drugs of any kind? And yes, I do. I take just one. It's called laughter. And laughter is my strength. And when the people laugh, it is the most glorious feeling in the world. And I was on with Mr Livermore at the Palladium for 15 concerts this time last week. So here I am with you in this luxurious dressing room.
It is.
And I was in the Palladium
Well,
last
we've actually
week.
appeared here ourselves. So
Well, it was glorious for me to go back there
Yeah. Yeah, oh God.
because it means so much to me.
Well, it's like the Wembley of football, isn't it? You know, footballers want to play at Wembley. Everybody wants to peer. I remember when we was working together, we had the chance to go there, but everybody then, they said, oh, you've got to pay £1,000, I think, each. And so we had to get £500 sponsorship just to play there. But I think in hindsight, that might have been quite cheap at the time.
Well, in 1970, I got a knock on the door. They said, will you play on Cup Final Day at Wembley? They said, we'll give £100,000 to children's charities if your team was to play David Frost's team. I said, okay. I said, you got it. I put the phone down, I phoned right away, Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
I said, Bob, it's Tarby. Do you fancy playing at Wembley? He said, Jimbo, always fancy playing there. And I said what it was. He said, I'm playing. He put the phone down. His phone rang. Hello, David Frost here. He said, you're a bit late. Jimmy's been on already. I'm playing in his team. And I've got to tell you, there was 100,000 people in there. It was Liverpool playing Wimbledon. and we were going out to play, my team and Frosty's. And I had the ball, and Bobby Moore said to me, "Jimbo, this is the first time I haven't led the team out." I said, "Bobby, of course." And I handed him the ball. No, I'm in your team, skipper. Lead us on, good luck, play well, pass it well. I said, "Thank you, Bob." And the referee blew the whistle. He said, "Are we set?" And we went out. And there was 100,000 with flags and everything. And the feeling, it was as good as the Palladium's first night.
Yeah.
So I'm walking out and I'm saying, "Bobby," over my shoulder, "this is wonderful. You've done this 100 times. I said, "But I've never experienced that. I'm going to play at Wembley. Isn't it glorious?" And I'm walking up there. He kept all the team down the tunnel and I was walking out on my own. And I got home and the kid said to me, "Who were you talking to, Dad? You look like Soft Sydney." And so we went out and we got a penalty. And a guy on Coronation Street said, "I'll take it." I said, "You'll take it?" With 100,000 in Wembley. I said, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
And it managed to go in.
I've seen the film of it. In your,
well, you know,
in your
it went past Frosty's ear and he went, "You near took my eye out." I said, "Yes, I was aiming at that." And that was one of the glorious moments away from show business that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And playing alongside the great Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
And he was a gentleman. He died when he was 51, far too young, but he was a nice man.
I had the privilege of meeting him when he was manager of Southend at one time.
That's right.
And of course, playing down at Colchester, I met him afterwards, and he signed some autographs for me because I've collected all the '66 World Cup autographs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, such a nice guy.
Delightful man.
So
delightful man.
Jimmy, you've never written an autobiography or anything like that officially, have you? Is there any reason why not?
Yeah.
Because you've got so much to tell.
People only want to read dirt. I don't want to speak about friends of mine.
No.
You know, only in the nicest possible way. But a lot of them have left us.
Yeah.
Scylla, little Ronnie, Des O'Connor, Bruce. You know, just keep going. Ian St. John, all great mates.
Yeah, we did Des O'Connor's show, didn't we?
Yeah, we
on
did.
TV. Yeah,
Well, you know, I did 3 years of touring with him, just the two of us, and we had a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
But as you did, I mean, I can't believe I can't ring Scylla.
No.
Because believe it or not, she was took the cloaks and the clothes at the cavern, and sometimes she gave them back, but not always.
We edit these little ums out.
No problem.
Do you mind talking about health,
Yes,
Jimmy?
please carry on.
Now, you've had 2 stents.
Yes.
Is that right?
Bit more than that.
Is that? No, we'll go on to the...
but I had 3 in one night. One when I'd gone.
Yeah.
It was when I was on Strictly Come Dancing.
Yes.
And it was very physical.
Yeah.
Much more physical than people think. And the heart got racing, so they took me into to the hospital, and I came round with the mask on, and they said, "We've put your 3 stents in." He said they've widened, and they widened the vein to let the blood flow more, and they were very, very, very kind to me. And there was little girls running around. I said, "Is it half term at school?" And this indignant young lady said, "I'm 24. I said, "Well, you look 12. I said, "And stay like that." And they were young nurses, young doctors, and they give the most important thing you can give in life. They gave me time.
Yeah.
And
Pat's had some stents.
I've had 5 stents totally now. I've had
and I didn't think it would...
2 replaced. So did they put them in through your wrist?
No, they didn't.
Or through the groin?
No, they didn't.
No? Do you know how they put them in? Right, okay. Over to you, Martin.
They actually hid them in a steak and kidney pudding,
Oh, yeah.
and so I ate it.
God, I wish I had mine that way. I'm not going to get a steak and kidney pudding.
Well, if you want another one now, though, won't you? It's like that.
Just in case.
Brilliant.
No, they were very good, and lots of criticism is written about the NHS. I applaud it.
Me too. Me too.
I applaud it. They were just great with me, and in the come round room, you know, when you've had an operation, there were 15 beds in this, all in different states of coming round, and I came round. You know, you're talking rhubarb.
Yeah.
I said, where am I? They said, come round, Jimmy. You're okay. He said, you've had oxygen, a lot of oxygen, to clear oxygen, to clean your blood and all that. I said, oh, and I'm looking round, and there's people all going, oh, hello, Jimmy, and all that. I said, right, attention. And I mean, it's all doctors and everyone. They went, yeah. I said, right, just follow me. 3, 4, fly me to the moon. And they said, you can't do that in here. I can't. And and I got this whole room of people in different states singing Fly Me to the Moon. And this doctor came up and said, you are a bugger. He said, we've never been allowed to do that before. I said, do you want another song? He said, no. But they just all roared laughing. And I have fond memories of the Marsden Hospital. They were great to me.
And what was, because that was for the stents?
No, it wasn't. That was, they put these in, and I had prostate cancer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go on to.
And they brought that up to me.
Would you talk, talk
and
us
I've
through
said
that?
the words, but I'll say them till I'm going, that he said, you've got it, but you won't die from it. He said, but you'll die with it. I said, well, that's a good deal.
To me as well.
Well, I said, that's a good deal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And they were just great to me, and I enjoyed myself.
Because you announced it on morning TV, didn't you?
Yeah, on was it?
Was you on there to do that then, or did you just say, right, I'm going to just announce?
No, I wasn't. They were concerned about me on Loose Women.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I went on with the girls, who are hilarious and cheeky, and I love them. And
I like that programme.
They were all great, and I enjoyed it. And I still enjoy it, and here I am.
Yeah.
I'm getting on now, and so...
I must get tickets for the audience, because I keep saying to my wife, I keep getting them offered to me, but... what was I going to say? Do you want to ask a question?
Did they give you any instructions when you come out of hospital, Jimmy? I.e.,
yes.
What you should eat, what you should drink?
They said,
exercise.
You know, live your life.
Yeah.
And do what you want to do, and look after your energy.
Right.
Because like any of us, these ladies are with us here now, who, if you like, cook for other people, to be admired, that is. And if you can help people like that, but you can only do it if you've got energy. I can't go on that stage if my energy's not buzzing.
Yeah.
You know, I just walk on and say, oh, hello, how are you? No, they don't want to see that.
No.
They want to see me lively and enjoying myself. And I still love what I do for a living. And my dear old dad, God rest him, he said, if you enjoy what you do for a living, you'll never work a hard day's work in your life. And I love it on the stage.
Yeah.
Stage struck. I think of the people I've been lucky to have met and to work with.
Yeah. Was
But
there
I've
ever
met it.
going to be another career? Or was it always going to be the stage?
Well, my dad got a note from the headmaster at my school, and it just said, your son is good for FA. And my dad really thought I was getting a trial for Liverpool. Yeah, I'd have liked to have been a footballer. I played a little bit at good levels, and it was very enjoyable.
Because your best man was Bobby Campbell.
Bobby Campbell, God rest him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my best man.
Yeah. So are you on a with the test, not the testicle, let's stop.
No.
So are you on a course of treatment for all that's gone?
Not at the moment.
No tablets?
I'll tell you the truth, it's just a week ago I had I take a lot of tablets.
Yeah.
But also I had a blood test last week to see how it was, and I'll know on Wednesday. And they make you know in the stranger style, they phone you. Yeah, all's clear, or we'd like to see you again. Just pop in and see us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't get that with Mike. I have to have regular blood tests, don't I? And they never call. I just wait until I go in, and then I have a 3-monthly check, and then that's when they gave me the really good news.
Yes, but you strike me just sitting here watching you and seeing your manner and how you apply this with your partner here. You're obviously a Rolls-Royce communist. Next question, please. Right. That's a joke.
On that note, taking you back to 1969, that was the first time I ever saw you, and that was at Great Yarmouth.
At?
Great Yarmouth.
Oh yeah.
The ABC Regal, they called it then.
Oh yeah.
And
right.
And who were you
with? Anita Harris.
Yes.
With 4 lunatics from Birmingham.
Yeah.
What was their name?
Rocking Berries.
The Rockin' Berries. Good mates of mine.
What a memory.
Funny lads.
And Kenneth McCullough was on the bill.
Oh, Ken McCullough.
Yeah.
Stop your gaily, here we go.
Yeah. Well, I'm handing you now a photocopy of that poster.
He's been looking it up, Jimmy.
I thought it was later than that, you see. I thought it was in the 70s.
Well, what we did to McCullough one night, he used to come on as proud Scots are, but with the kilt and the skiing do down the sock, that's the knife, and all that. And I asked him, I said, have you got a wind fan in here? Yeah. I said, I want you to put it just on the front edge next to McCullough's microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, aye. So he came on and he went into that, step you gaily, and he's doing this. Well, we turned this thing on. Well, the kilt went up, and it was quite a
Was he
night.
a proper Scotsman?
But anyway, I'll leave it to your imagination.
Yeah.
Following on from that, you were on the beach at the fun fair, and you were interviewed by ITV, or Anglia News, as it was known.
Oh, yes.
Right now, I've got the script.
Oh,
Blimey.
come on, we'll try and do it.
I'm going to test you now. The interviewer was a guy called Wellings.
It's called
Wellings.
Wangs.
Wellings.
Wellings. Oh,
Wellings.
Bob Wellings.
Bob Wellings.
Oh, Bob Wellings.
Bob Wellings, yeah.
And he asked you this question. He said, how tough is it being a funny man? Very hard, you said. OK, Tarbuck, make us laugh, he said. Do you know what you said?
Let me put your jacket on and we'll all roar laughing.
Spot on.
Wow.
Spot on. Can you believe that?
I can't believe, no. That's a hell of a memory.
God blimey.
Do you know, we interviewed Cliff Thorpe.
Did you ever see Kenneth McCullough with the kilt on? No, not in my. Anyway, go on.
We interviewed Cliff Thorburn from Canada, and he had a memory like he knew every person he played in a semi-final, quarter-final, and that's a hell of a memory to remember that.
Well, I remember a day with him at Coombe Hill Golf Club. He was 4 handicap player, which is very low at golf. I was 4 handicap, and he knocked it round in 72 shots. And I knocked it round that day, and he'll admit this, in 66. It's the best round of golf I've ever had.
Yeah.
And he was a very quiet guy, talk like that, a Canadian. He said, Jim, I haven't seen golf like this, except from Arnold Palmer. I said, that's a good association. Keep it at that. Yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, I just texted him, and he came on, and he was lovely, wasn't he?
Yeah, do you still play golf then?
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not as well now.
I was going to say, what are you playing off now?
Oh, no, it's all right.
I went out the other day.
No, I play with my son and he hits it just miles past me now.
Yeah, mine.
I've got nothing.
I just
nothing
like to
in the
play
tank.
now. And
Yeah, but I play. I'm playing next Thursday, and it's in memory of Len Goodman
Yeah.
from Severn,
Yeah.
and who was a delightful man, but passed away. And they're having the Variety Club of Great Britain. They're having a match for him, and I'm going to play in that with pleasure. And the week after I'm playing, and that's in memory of Bruce Forsyth. And I admired them as two men,
Yeah.
and two nice guys, and it'd be a pleasure to play with them. God knows how I'll play.
Yeah. Well,
So
going back to... sorry.
Is Anton Dubek playing? Do you know on that?
He is, and he's a very good player.
Because he plays off single numbers, doesn't he?
He's low single figures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a Des O'Connor, the Comedian Society, there's a Des O'Connor classic that I played in several years ago. And it was for the Comedian Society who sort of did
Yes,
it.
that's right. There's a Society of Comedians.
Yeah,
That.
I was part of that. And it was a Des O'Connor classic that I remember playing in.
Ah, well.
So,
He was a great lad, Des.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a bragger. We were at a party one night, and a few of the faces you all know from show business, and he said, I just want you all to know, gentlemen, and he was 72 at the time. He said, the wife and I made love for 75 minutes last week. Oh, and Bruce said, no, love. The clocks had gone forward an hour.
That's one of the comedians that people I never met was Bruce, but I'd love to have done. But
You never met him?
Never met Good game.
Yeah, oh, yes. He had a dog bark like that.
Well, he had several catchphrases. You've never really had a catchphrase, have you? I mean, a lot of people, when they do an impression of you, they're boom boom or whatever, don't they?
Well, I did that a lot.
Yeah.
That was the tag of the gags. That
Yeah.
if they were a good gag, you did that.
Yeah. But a lot of comedians, they try but they always sort of do that, don't they? Or the impressionists, I should say. That's always what they add in.
Yeah.
Just finishing up on the health issue. Did you ever ring the cancer bell, Jimmy? Because a lot of people ring the cancer bell once they've...
Have you heard about that?
You've not heard that?
And funny enough, we did Epsom. I've been everywhere lately. About three or 4 weeks ago, and they asked me to go to Epsom Hospital, and they had a machine that was going to help ward cancer off, if possible. They've been trying for years, and they said, "Would you present it?" I said, "With pleasure." And I went in there, and there they were, these nurses, doctors, and just guys who push the trolleys in and out, but they're all doing their job, which I admire.
Yeah.
Going back to 2022 now, you had a cancerous mole removed, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you all okay with that now?
Well, I must say, they had a look at it, but it ran back down its hole, and I haven't seen it since. So I'm quite, I joke about it. It's the only thing I can do.
Well, the thing is, you're a comedian anyway, but we seem to talk about on our podcast a lot about a positive mental attitude.
Oh, you've got to have that.
You seem to have that.
Yeah.
Well, I am. What am I going to do? Sit on the beach here and have a tear?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No, we're the same.
You try and if you're lucky enough to be able to pick people up, you've got to use that.
Yeah. We certainly do with your show.
The big man upstairs will be saying, "Well, he's trying," which is a good thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, with what you're still doing it. We came to the show in Bury at the Apex, and The audience loved you. Well, we loved you, but the audience loved you there as well. So it was fantastic. Can I ask you
Cost me a fortune.
a couple of quick fire questions?
Yes,
Before you
sir,
answer
please.
that question, are your groupies getting younger or older with you?
My groupies.
Yeah.
Well, here they are. God bless them.
They wanted to come
They
and see
wanted
you.
to come and see you, didn't they?
See,
These are two crackers. That'll do.
well, they said they've never met a sex symbol before, you see.
No, I'm a sex object.
Are you?
I want sex and they object. Ba-bum. Doing all the gags
There
now,
was that
yes.
catchphrase.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
So a couple of quick fire questions. Who's the favourite person you've ever worked with? Would you name one?
Two are close like that. Harry Seacombe and Frankie Vaughan.
Oh,
Two of
my
the
mum's
nicest
favourite.
men I've ever met in my life. And two men dedicated to other people. And that has my untold
Frankie
admiration.
did a lot for charity, didn't
Oh, and Seacombe did.
he? Did he? I didn't know so
but
much
the
about
two of
him.
them.
Yeah, my mum loved
But
Frankie.
one
Vaughan.
didn't get a knighthood and one did. Harry deserved it, but so did Frank. He deserved a knighthood. He did
Yeah.
a lot for boys' clubs and things like that.
That's right.
Good
yeah,
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Good man.
And he was
Yeah.
a water rat, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a
yeah.
king
'Cause That's
rat.
where I first met you at the ground.
Oh.
You thought I was a waiter. Come to get a photograph with you. But moving on from that, who haven't you worked with who you'd like to? Is there anybody you'd like nowadays?
Out of these youngsters, comedy-wise, Peter,
Kay?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
Brilliant.
superb comic. Superb comic. Does make me laugh. And I'd love to stand with him and do a few, because it's easier when there's two of you on the stage than one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a fact.
And the thing is, his humour is all about talking about his childhood, the television with the big light on. We all talk about the big light, you know.
Well,
but
when he does the songs on his microphone,
yeah.
I mean that
You've
is
heard
hilarious.
lyrics.
But he's a fine comedian.
Yeah.
I played that new stadium in Manchester.
Oh, it's
that
open,
just
is it?
It opened. He
And
was
closed
supposed to
and
open
open.
it, but they lost some stuff from the ceiling, air conditioning, and the guy said that might have damaged if the public were in. And so he stepped back. So I was the first comedian to go on there, and I'll tell you, there was 17,000 people in there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what can you do with 17,000? It was just vast, vast. You know, you're not looking like at my beloved Palladium, where you can see the people. You just saw rows of faces. And then I did these 15 concerts with this wonderful American, and we had a laugh. And all his pensioners, they were ladies of a certain age, were outside, and they, can we have a photo? And there was about 20 of them, God bless them, all lined up. And I said, yes, with pleasure. But there is one condition with me over photographs. I hope you don't mind. Oh, they were all one of these dear old lady. No, not, what is it, Jimmy? I said, could you all put your teeth in? Well, they roared. And one said this, I must swear now, please. And one said, he's a cheeky bugger, isn't he? And the other one going, but he always has been. And I roared at that, and I told the audience in the theatre that night I'd done it. And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful experience for me to be back at the Palladium.
Yeah.
Because it totally changed my life and my family's.
So have you appeared there more than Bruce, or has Bruce?
Well,
I tried to find that out, but I couldn't.
I hosted it 3 times as the host. I did top of the bill in the Palladium pantomime, so that was 4 months. I did the summer show there with Harry Seacombe, which was wonderful. Just tremendous laughter, because he used to do terrible things to you on the stage.
Oh, right.
I mean, you'd be talking away, and you'd feel a hand pinching your bum, and you'd go, and you'd have to laugh.
Yeah.
And you'd get told off, stop trying to make Harry laugh. I said, make Harry laugh? Ask Harry what he's doing to me now. We don't want those excuses. And so, yes.
Any programmes that you haven't presented on TV that you'd like to do? You know, have you done several quiz shows on TV?
Yes,
you?
I've done that. I would like very much to have a proper one in Coronation Street.
Ah.
I think that's the best
Soap.
everyday soap. I mean, it's reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all the guys and girls in it, they're brilliant actors.
Yeah.
I love them, and I love watching it.
Yeah.
And that was, God rest her, my mum's wish. I've seen you on the Palladium. When are you going on Corro? And she didn't regard me as... No, he's not on Corro, you know.
Yeah. Have you got any?
Jim, this is a bit of a strange one. While I was doing my research, because we don't have researchers, we have to do
We have to do it ourselves.
You said to somebody once that some of your fans already think you're dead. And your dear wife, Pauline, has actually been called, oh, are you Jimmy Tarbuck's widow? Is that right?
That's a fact. She
Where
has
did you
been.
pick that up from?
I don't know. I think that was a quote Jimmy said somewhere.
And there are certain times when she's convinced I'm dead. But that's another story that you ladies know now. Next one, please.
Would you ever go in the jungle or on
No.
Big Brother? No.
No,
Neither?
don't like either of those.
No. And have you ever appeared on TV or radio with your lovely daughter?
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, with Lizzie.
Yeah.
Yes.
We used to, when we go to gigs,
Massive.
we used to tune into her show every time, didn't we?
Massive.
So,
Yes, we show it on the videos tonight.
oh, okay.
That bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that at Bury.
Oh, I can't remember that bit.
No, you can't remember. Are you on statins, Jim? Drugs. A statin. Does that ring a bell?
I'm on 7. I take 7 tablets every day.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
possibly then.
Ramipril, blood thinners,
Yep, got that. one.
Yeah.
and they're working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
We're on statins. Yeah, but
Everybody seems to be on statins these days.
yeah, these two had a wedding anniversary party, and he asked everybody how many people here on statins, and nearly the whole audience.
All the hands went up.
Yeah,
Oh
hands went
dear,
up.
oh dear.
Yeah, apart from you, wasn't it?
Well, these shows are sponsored that I'm doing at the moment, and it's sponsored by Snuff.
Mm-hmm.
Snuff.
I was looking at you all serious then.
No, I can't tell you that one. Anyway, go on, tell me something else.
I looked up some of the people that you saw Laurel and Hardy as a kid.
I did. I saw them live.
Yeah, and you worked with Judy Garland, and you got summoned to see Frank Sinatra. I mean, they're just names that, you know.
Well, he asked to meet me
Yeah.
in America, and he was with George Raft. And he said, what have you been doing, George? George Raft was the gangster, always with the machine gun. He said, I've been over in London. He said, and they put me on the London Palladium. Oh, I love it there, he said, twice. He said, and the kid who runs it is in the hotel. So in Miami this was.
Yeah.
As the Americans say, in the Fontainebleau. And so he said, bring him in, I'd like to meet him.
Mm.
And I was by the pool, and they said, the man wants to see you. I said, what man is that? They said, there's only one man here. Frank. I said, don't dare tell me Sinatra. He said, yeah, he's waiting to say hello. So I went up the room, and he jumped out the seat, and he just went, how are you, Jimmy? And I thought, I don't believe that. I said, fine, thank you, Mr. Sinatra. He said, Frank. I said, this is my wife, Pauline. He said, ma'am, would you guys like a drink and have some fun? And I didn't drink at all in these days. This is years ago. And I said, what do you have? And he said, I'm going to take an American whiskey, he said, and a little ginger ale. I said, well, I'll have the same, Frank. And my wife went, well, I went, shut up. And so I got the glass, and it was bourbon. And I watched what he did, and he just went, and he took a pull, proper one. Oh, yeah. Jim? So I've gone, no, I've never drank this. It went down to my ankles, past my knees, up my behind, up to the back, and I went, and he said, oh, you're a Jack Daniels man, are you, Jim? All the time, Frank. And my missus going, shh. And months later, we were, she was mopping in the kitchen, as ladies do, with the dog, the faithful dog with her, and she's talking to herself, and she said, I'll have a Jack Daniels, Frank. Yes, Frank, thank you very much. And even the dog was doing the yeah. Frank, I went, be quiet. And she just laughed. She said, you were funny that night. Yeah. And the same, out of the people I've worked with, I was in Vegas. Tom Jones took me to Las Vegas, and he said, we're going out tomorrow night. There's a late show on. The other shows put late shows on so their fellow professionals can see. I said, oh, great. So I go in, and my best table with Tom Jones. He's God, the king. And so he sat down and that. And all you heard was this bass. The bass go, boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, 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 ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom. I said, this sounds just like a Elvis Presley opening. And the voice went, you don't like crazy music. And I went, don't. And on he came.
Wow.
And I was staggered because I bought my first Elvis record when I was still at school. That was Heartbreak Hotel. And he said, come on, Jonesy, when we finished, we're going round to his dressing room. I said, you're joking. And I walked in, and he was with the suit that zipped up and that.
Wow.
And he said what I wanted him to say. How you doing? I said, yes, I'm fine, thank you. I said, I do have love sent to you from the whole of England. Why don't you play there? He said, we're trying to organise that. Where would you play me at England? I said, Wembley Stadium. He said, what is that? I said, well, you call them soccer pitches. I said, it's our and Europe's most famous football pitch. He said, well, what would you get in there? I said, 100,000. He said, we wouldn't get 100,000 to see me. I said, you're quite right. There'd be 500,000 in there. I said, they love you. And we went out with him the next night for a bit of dinner, all thanks to Tom, who is singing magnificently himself at the minute.
Vinny loves him, don't you?
And
we've seen him twice.
I was so close to him at Hyde Park, I could almost lick him.
Do you know he mentioned this to me? And he said, yeah, he's a great guy. Very low.
Perhaps you could get him on our podcast.
Low control. I'm sure he'd do it if he was about. He's a very nice man.
Yeah.
For a kick-off.
Yeah. As yourself, and you know, we thank you for coming on.
Oh, definitely. Jimmy, Martin, this is unplanned, so I'm going to get into trouble over this because he always gives me earache when I say so. Every week on our podcast, because he thinks he's a bit of a comedian, we have a joke of the week. Could we ask you to give us a joke of the week today?
I'll let you take my place, Jimmy.
Please, because his jokes.
I don't like it. I don't like this competition.
You've got nothing to worry about.
It can be a dirty joke. Fine. We don't blush.
Easily.
Well, there's a lady who goes into a shop. She said, I'd like 42 buns that will take a hamburger. Oh, he said, a party? She said, it is my birthday. He said, may I ask how old are you? She said, would you guess? He said, well, 62? Oh, she said, please, I'm nearly 70. Well, he said, you look marvellous. And so she goes into the wine shop. She said, I like that Rioja Spanish wine, I believe it is, and some nice beers for the men. And, oh, a party, it's my birthday. Oh, how old are you? Would you guess? Yes, I suppose it's the big 70. She said, well, he said, you don't look it. And she goes in the third shop, which is a butcher's. And he's from Liverpool, who's come down south to her. He says, yes, love, what'll it be? She said, I'd like one of those rails of sausages. Oh, yeah. Oh, lovely. Yeah. And what else? She said, they've cooked a whole lamb on a spit. Oh, lamb on a spit with the sausages. Perfect. He said, what's this for? It's my birthday. How old are you? She said, guess. He said, I've never been wrong in my life. If I'm wrong, you can have all the meat, the lamb, the sausages for nothing. Oh, she said, that's very fair. All right. He says, okay, come over. He says, yes, I've never been wrong. He said, just turn round, slaps her on the backside. Whoa, he said, you're very firm there, love. Will you loosen your blouse? Oh, she said, I've never done anything like. He said, it's the free meat. She said, well, all right. And oh, very firm bosoms, if you don't mind me saying so. Whoa. She said, well, come on, how old am I? He said, 76. She said, how did you know that? He said, I was stood behind you in the cake shop. They are.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, have you got any more questions?
No.
I just want to end and say that I felt today how you felt going to see Frank Sinatra. So I thank you very much for coming on our podcast. It's been fantastic.
Pleasure's mine.
And
I admire the job you're doing and keep going.
We try and keep people's spirits going, don't we?
Yeah, you must do that.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
You forget how nice it is that you're talking to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you see some folks in. My sister was in, if you want, a nursing home, and I'd go in and see her. I'd see ladies in there, and not a soul visited them.
Yeah.
You think, dear Lord.
I bet you get that. Yeah.
You know, would it hurt you to jump on a bus and just pop in and say, hello, Mum, how are you? I don't.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, lads.
Thank you
very much, Jimmy.
We won't
It's
keep you
been
much longer.
absolutely
But
brilliant.
could we get one photograph of the?
No. Put your teeth in.
Oh right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, of course you can.
You've been listening to the Who's Tom and Dick podcast with your hosts, Martin Weavers and Patrick Mortimer. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite streaming platform. New episodes are available every Friday. Thanks for tuning in.